Good evening, everyone. My name is Alex, and welcome to the live stream. Sorry I haven't been announcing them. I've had some things that have come up and thrown some spanners into the works. I'm looking to do more regular live streams. I'm going to step away from the English words flashcards that would have been scheduled and spend some time going back to the previous ones. There's a few video series that I want to put through. And in the meantime, I'll split into some more game-like stuff. But at the same time with this one, if you've got any questions or there's anything else you want to talk about, then leave a note in the chat. I'll see what I can do to help out. So this is a game called Connectagram, and we can't really see everything at the moment because I've had it unpause. I clicked away and it stops to stop people from solving them. So we have words that were scrambled, and I've solved a few of them already. Then we've, as you unscramble them to do it. Yeah, we've got all the words, so just have to figure out the right order. So if you can find any and want to just let me know. We're having a look over at the chat every now and then, and if someone finds any, more than happy to put them in. So getting some hints. So some of the letters are already there, so profitable. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be something related to business profit. Yeah, profitable. Actually, I'm just going to change it to a new map of much shorter letters, and hopefully that'll be easy to find out. So, in fact, I'll even go much shorter. Start off with some 6-letter words. No, looks to be muscle. So in the different parts of the body, the muscles that help the body move. Column. In a spreadsheet, you've got rows and columns. Ignore someone. They're just going to hope they go away, not react to them. It's been quite a while since I've done one of these. I'm got a bit rusty. Income. So when examining and doing a budget, you'd look at your income and expenses. How much money is coming in, how much money is going out. To assure somebody. So company, you might be bidding for some work and they might say, well, we're not really sure you can do it. Well, you'd assure them and say, you might give several examples of what you've done before. Sunset at the end of the day. Engine in a car. Use petrol or diesel to make it go forward or backwards. And damage. The car might suffer some damage from hail if it's left out in a storm. We'll go with slightly longer, so move it up to 7 letters. Stick with the twisty pattern. And off we go. Looks to be a trainer, as in a personal gym. This looks to be goodbye. I'd say to people when they're about to go off on a trip, or see at the end of the day, and we won't see them again until tomorrow. Engaged. Someone who's engaged is active with the process and making sure things are going on. Also, in relation to phones, you could be engaged and someone's not able to pick up. So if I've called someone who's already on the phone, I'd get the engaged signal. Oh, I think I know exactly what this is. So I've got person there, D. Okay. Yep, so it looks to be respond. It took only a minute for the fire department to respond once the alarm came through. In the university, there might be several different faculties, or at a school. So each area, so the teachers from the same area might congregate amongst themselves, but not really mix with others, as in the English faculty and the mathematics faculty and the social sciences, and the musicians might have something else as well. Shampoo, use that in the shower. You wash and clean your hair. And this one, I'm just getting some hints. I think I know what it is. I need just a little bit of a prompt to get me going. A builder. Someone would be responsible for making a house, or something else. Might be a bridge. I'll kick it up a notch again and go up to 8 letters. Seems to be pretty unscrambled as it is at the moment. So to say whenever, yeah, friend might ask me what's a good time to drop in, and I could say whenever. Doesn't matter to me. I might just be sitting there and reading a book. So whether they come at 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock, it's not going to matter. Combined, all of the ingredients separate. We might have flour, sugar, butter, and an egg. And combined, we could then put in some choc chips and make some nice biscuits out of it. Resident. So someone might live there, might have some mixed use accommodation in an apartment building, which is a hotel, but there might also be people living there. So the people at the front desk might know whether you're staying as a guest or as a resident, depending on what your issue is. So if there's something broken, the plumbing, well, that's your responsibility as a resident to fix. But if you're a guest, then they could get someone to fix it for you. So worrying, I might be worrying if someone was expected to turn up at 4 o'clock in the afternoon and it's now 6 o'clock. I might think that something's gone wrong, like they've got a flat tire. A mechanic. The car could have broken down and need to call a mechanic to fix it. Uh, 40th. So instead of 40, just to say we've got like 40 oranges, the 40th is we've got items on a queue, and the 40th person across the line might have been chosen for a random prize. Someone might be dominant. They are very favoured to win, or another way of putting it is the dominant hand. You might have people that can write with their left and their right hand. They're ambidextrous, but most people are dominant, will write with one or the other, left or right-handed. And they might also change when they're doing different things and use their dominant hand, but they have one that they prefer most of the time. And finished off with aircraft. So grab another one. I might mix things up a bit and choose the fence this time. That's almost half the word sold for me as well. Slightly. Things might just move just a little bit, slight, very small amount. I might have been slightly over the speed limit when I was fined by the police. I might feel hard done by, but would have been speeding. No, I think that's going to be an A. I think I know what it is. So national, I might win a national competition where it's been everyone from the country's able to edit in or participate in, whereas if I might be much easier to win a regional photographic championship. No, it starts with R. And it'll be a reaction. The reaction of the crowd after the fireworks finished was they decided to stand up and clap. Skeleton, I think it's going to be. Oh, sorry, misspelled it to skeleton. So just the bones of left. Or if in engineering, it might be just the outside of it. So you don't have exactly what all of the internals are, but just a broad idea of what the building's going to look like. Okay, I think it's going to be indirect. So we aren't going the exact way, the quickest way there forward. We're going round the outside. We might have several other places to stop. But we're not going directly from point A to point B. No, it's not chairman. It looks like it's going to be charming. Someone who is very charming is very persuasive. This is going to be external. Something happening outside of it. So the delivery company might have a promise to get it there at certain times. But they might say, well, there's external events that are outside our control that may mean we couldn't get their delivery on time, such as maybe a cyclone at the airport. So go choose a new one. We'll go back to smaller word letters again, and then go back to that. That's interesting. This one's got... It looks like it might be Mr. or Mrs. just as acronyms. It was, I'm not sure exactly where this word list has come from. And this looks to be annual, something that happens once a year. Might be an annual general meeting. Screen. There might be a screen up near the doorway of a change room to stop people walking past from looking inside. And this looks to be pepper. Similar to a spice, a salt, to make things a little bit, to feel a bit hotter. I was thinking ponder, but that's not the case. But powder certainly works. And there's a saying of keeping your powder dry, as in choosing to which battles to pick rather than be seen as belligerents. You might only raise issues when you feel they're very important. In other cases, you might let it go through. Debate. I might talk about the merits of the issue. The politicians would debate the legislation going through as to why a new tax might be a good thing or not. I think this is going to be, sleepy. Someone might look very tired at the end of the day. You might see them just sitting in a chair and their eyes going down. And I think this is going to finish it off with winter. So the season where everything is very cold. Some places might get snow. Go up to 7-letter words. So aside from spelling English, something that comes up quite often is grammar and making sure that the words are in the right order. The people that were driving on the bus, it went close to a bushfire, thought their situation was very intense. And related to that, they might get anxiety and not really want to go on that bus trip again or get into more buses. To confuse, someone might be walking through the snow and be thinking someone might be following them. So they might walk backwards for a little bit and then jump off into a different area. So that way anyone following them will see a clear set of footsteps, but then the footsteps just stop. They might get confused. Violent. There might have been a discussion as to one Christmas present there if a lot of people wanted to demand, and people might throw punches and the situation might get violent. Depress. It's normally, I guess, said with depressed, if someone is feeling sad and bad for a long period of time, that depressed might be for something to go down. Uh, so a package, I might tell my neighbour to look out as I was expecting an important package. And if they see the delivery person comes to pick it up, they can bring it into their house. And abandon, where the car might be left on the side of the road and all of the people go through, particularly if maybe there's an issue with the engine, and then it might stay there for a long period of time and the car might get abandoned. Swap over to some longer words. Okay. This is a so-called. So it's I guess, a phrase where I might not necessarily call someone so-called. It's saying that other people believe this has happened. So someone might be considered a prodigy, but if I think they might be cheating, I might be saying so-called champion. I'm not, yeah, I'm not exactly sure what to say off the top of my head. So looks like it's going to be president. Like a president of the United States would be the most common, and a figurehead. So terrorism, an organizer could be a person that ensures that an event goes smoothly, like maybe possibly like a wedding planner, but it can also refer to an item where people all go and store notes. And this, I think, is going to be concussion, where someone might get a hit to the head. No, not going to be concussion, it's going to be conscious. So it's a way to say whether someone's awake or not. So conscious is someone could be unconscious, but if they're awake, it's different from asleep. And they might get hit in the head. They might be in a car accident. And even though they'd normally be awake, the shock has forced them to not be responsive. Or smoke inhalation. In the case of, say, a fire, the firemen might bring out someone unconscious from a building. And an encounter. I think this is going to be permanent. So something permanent has changed all of the time rather than something temporary. The company might permanently change its hours. If people have stopped coming in late of Friday and Saturday nights, they might finish up early. So rather than just a temporary change, if they're doing a refit or similar, a permanent change is, from now on every week, not just the next week. I'll go something very short. Go back to Twisty, and I'll make it with lots of words. There we go. We're going to have a few on that one. So we've got paper to do some writing onto. An apple, some fruit. A piece. Can you get me a piece of cake? We don't want the whole lot. I wouldn't say scrimp either, but I don't want, at all early. So if work was meant to start at 8:30 and if I turn up at 8:15, I'm early. Rugby is a type of sport. Bleed. I might cut myself and end up bleeding. Equal. Faith. I might have, even though someone with the project might look behind, I might have faith that they will put in the hard yards when it's needed to get the job done. To touch. You don't want to touch a pot that's got some boiling water in it. It'll burn you and hurt very much. Colon. That's can have two meanings. It can be like a full stop, some punctuation mark, or it can be the part of the body that you poop out of. Olive. Common topping for you might commonly see them in salads, on a pizza, or in pasta. And liver. That's a body part as well. I'll go back up to some 6-letter words. And I think I'll finish up on this one. I'm going to have to go away and do something soon. So a tissue is like a single-use handkerchief. I might want to blow my nose or clean up a small spill. That could describe the weather outside as stormy. It's going to be raining, the wind's blowing, lightning, and or could hear thunder. Might have a luxury car, one of the high-end ones, pretty expensive. Around. Yeah, I could, from earlier where I said to my friend Hamid, I might say sometime around 8. Yeah, it could be 7:30, it could be 8:30. If they turned up at 9:30, I might have gotten a bit tired, go to bed. Fair. In the context of married couple, someone having an affair means that they're seeing a third person. Reward might be offered if someone finds a lost dog. Always. So every time you hop in a car, you want to put on a seatbelt. Or anytime you're crossing a pedestrian crossing, you want to have a look and just make sure that the traffic is going to stop. I don't always. Yeah, it's not always. The subway is a train station that's underground. Before. So the airline, this means something that happens, one thing has to happen before another. It's the first thing to happen. So the airline might give people with first class tickets board before the people with economy. Potato. Vegetable. Stroke. I think in golf, you you might have some holes that it counts how many shots you have at the hole, whereas it might be a par 3, but if you get a hole in one, you've only taken 1 stroke. But if you take 4 shots, you've taken 4. And nation. So, and this refers to a country. So, the nation of Spain, or the nation of France, or the nation of New Zealand might make a speech on the world stage. So, I'll pretty much wrap it up here. I've got to duck off and do something now. I'm looking to bring Connectagrams back, and I'll be looking to putting out some of the other videos, and certainly looking to make up some of the other videos that I've put it on before. So if you've got any questions, comments, feedback, please let me know. And I'll see about doing more live streams of this, particularly where people can drop in and ask questions or comments, and I'm happy to have a chat about just about anything. So thanks for watching. Have a good night.